All right, in this video, we're going to cover implicit differentiation. So what this is going to allow us to do is to derive something maybe that we can't rewrite as y equals like x squared, for example. So let's say you had, everything we've derived so far has been y equals. So let's say y equals, x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we would find the derivative of y with respect to x. So we'd say dy dx equals, and then we would go ahead and derive it. So 2x plus 2. So if you'll notice, this is what we call an explicit equation because the y is on one side and then all the x's are on the other side. Well, sometimes it's difficult to solve for just y equals. So let's say, for example, like this problem up here. Let's say we had, y, I don't even know. Let's say we had x equals, and then x cubed plus y squared minus 3xy. So to rewrite this and turn it into y equals all x's on the right-hand side so we could derive it is complicated to do. Okay, that's where implicit kind of comes in handy. We can derive as is, but we just have to, there's a few caveats to it, and we'll get to that in a second. But basically, you need to, you're just going to derive in the form that it's already in. We're just going to have to attach a dy dx to it. So basically, for example, is if you look at this and we took the derivative, we'd say the derivative of y, we could say is dy dx. Okay, so whenever you derive a y, you're going to attach either dy dx or a y prime to it. So for example, if we had, let's say 1 equals x squared plus y squared, and you didn't want to rewrite it, you wanted to derive it just as is. So we could say, 0 equals 2x. When you derive the x, it's going to remain the same, just like we did prior. But when you derive the y, we're going to do 2y, so we're going to still follow the rule. So if it's trig, we're going to do trig. If it's x, power rule, we're going to do power rule. But then we're going to, it's sort of like you're doing the chain rule of the inner piece. So it's 2y, lower the power by 1, and then times dy dx. So we're going to solve, or we're going to take the derivative of the inside part, which is y. And then we're going to just go ahead and resolve this for dy dx. And we'll do that in the examples, but that's what you're going to do. So then you're going to solve it, and then that's the derivative of y with respect to x. Okay, so find the derivative of the following expression. So this would be, so we'd say y equals x cubed. So when I take the derivative, dy dx equals 3x squared. That was one of the notations that we use. We use y prime a lot. You could use y prime instead of dy dx. Sometimes I don't like to do it just because it's hard to see the little tick marks. You got to be careful about that. All right, so this one I'm going to say, see this one, it's written funny. But if we were to do this, we could say, so it's y cubed, and then when we derive it, it's going to be 3y squared times, and then dy dx. So every time you take the derivative of y, you have to attach a dy dx to it. Now you could do, let's say it's 3y squared. You can definitely do y prime. Okay, but again, you can't lose track of the y primes here. Okay, so this would be the first times derivative of the second. So it's dy dx, or you can think of it as 1 dy dx. So first derivative of the second plus the second times derivative of the first, which is just 1. So again, we're going to continue to derive x as normal. Okay, but when we derive the y, we're going to attach a dy dx to it. So this one, we've got 3x squared plus 2y times dy dx minus first times derivative of the second plus the second times derivative of the first. And then you would simplify it. I'm not going to simplify it right now, but that's sort of the idea. Okay? All right, so now the graph, all right, so this equation represents the graph of the circle, okay? So we could resolve it for y, which is fine, okay? But understand you don't have to do that. So let's go ahead and resolve this for y. So you're going to get y squared, and then we're going to get negative x squared plus 4. We could do 4 minus x squared. We could take the root So you get y equals plus or minus square root of 4 minus x squared. So then if we wanted to derive this, it's going to be a chain rule with a power, right? So you're going to bring down the half. So y prime, so dy dx is going to be equal to, so it's 1/2, rewrite it, lower the power by 1 times derivative of the inside. Okay, that's what we've spent all of the previous chapter doing. So we could say y prime, and then we're going to get the 2's cancel, so you get negative x over square root 4 minus x squared, and then you also have the positive of it, right? Because it was plus or minus here when we did it. So actually, let me just do it like this, plus or minus. Okay, so that is one way to do it, but sometimes it's easier to just derive it as is. So I could say 2x, so it's x squared, plus y squared equals 4. So I'm going to say 2x plus 2y times dy dx equals 0. So what you would need to do here is you need to solve this equation for dy dx. So I'm going to say 2y dy dx equals negative 2x. I'm going to isolate the dy dx, divide by the 2y, so dy dx, we're going to get negative x over y. Now that is the answer. So it depends on, when we do implicit, you usually can leave it like that. Like when we do equations of tangent lines, now you're going to have to plug in both the x and the y point, not just the x point. Fine, okay. But how is this the same as this? Well, we can always plug back in, right? So we know that dy dx is equal to negative x over y. So in this case, y would be equal to, let's see, let's use this one. So plus or minus square root of 4 minus x squared, which is what we got up here when we did it. I know the signs are a little quacky, but in the end, it's not going to matter, right? Because you're going to get a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus. Okay, so again, implicit is better because a lot of times they don't care, and you can always leave it in terms of x and y. So we would be done here. And if you had to find a tangent line, you would just literally plug in the x value and the y value. Okay? All right, find where the derivative is positive, where it's negative, where it's 0. Okay, so positive would be when the x and y have opposite signs. If you just think of the curve, okay, we're thinking of a positive. Remember, this is the derivative. So where the slope is positive, if I looked at this curve, would actually be here and here. So second and fourth quadrants, x and y, are opposite signs. Negative would be where x and y have the same sign. So if you look at the first and the third quadrant, and then 0 would be when x equals 0. So for a fraction to be 0, just the top needs to be 0. So if I said the top equal to 0, I would get x equals 0. Okay? All right, so these are kind of the steps. I'll talk about the steps as we work through some of the examples here. Okay? All right, so they want you to find dy dx. Okay, so we're just going to derive as is. Okay, you're literally going to go from left to right here. So we've got 3x squared and then plus 3y squared times dy dx. Now over here we have to use the product rule. So it's going to be the first times derivative of the second plus the second times derivative of the first. So you want to combine the dy dx's. You're going to get them all on one side so we can solve for it. So I'm going to leave this here, 3y squared dy dx. I'm going to subtract the 6x dy dx, and then I'm going to say 6y, combine that, and then minus 3x squared, so I brought that over. Okay, now from here, you're going to factor out a dy dx. Okay, so we get dy dx, and then we're going to get 3y squared minus 6x, and then equals 6y minus 3x squared. And then all I'm going to do here is divide, so dy dx is going to be equal to 6y minus 3x squared all over 3y squared minus 6x. Now, depending on which way you brought it, your answers might be flipped around the negatives, which is fine, okay? But again, is you can leave this in terms of x and y. You don't have to rewrite it in terms of all one variable, okay? Now, the tangent line, again, if you had to do a tangent line from here, what you're going to simply do is just plug in the x and the y value, okay? All right, next one is find the equation of a tangent line. All right, so let's go ahead and, so they give us the points. Okay, so it's going to be the x is 4/3, the y is 8/3. So they're both going to take on, so normal line, tangent line. So tangent's going to be y minus 8/3, slope, and then x minus 4/3. All right, so what we need to do here is we need to plug in the point into the dy dx to get the slope, which I'm going to put right here. Okay, so it's 6y, so it's going to be 6 times 8/3 minus 3 times 4/3 squared. And then it's going to be over 3y squared, so 3, and then 8/3 squared minus 6 times 4/3. Okay, so I did this ahead of time, and I got 4/5. Okay, so you can double check my math here, but I believe it simplifies down to 4/5. So that would be the tangent line slope, so 4/5. And then for the normal line, we're just going to do the negative reciprocal, so it's going to be negative 5/4. So same point, so y minus 8/3, and then equals negative 5/4, and then x minus 4/3 for that one. All right, this one, find dy dx. So we're still going to do the outer function, which is tangent. So we're going to take the derivative of tangent, which is secant squared. So I'm going to do secant squared. You write the angle, but then you times it by the derivative of the inside. So it's 1 plus dy dx, and then equal to 1. And again, you're going to solve for, well, they want it at the point. So actually for this, I would recommend, especially on the AP multiple choice, they often give you implicit with a point. So the second you can plug the point in, I'd say go ahead and plug the point in. So we get secant squared of 0 plus 0 is 0. And then 1 plus dy dx equals 1. So secant of 0 is 1. So 1 squared is 1. So 1 squared, and then 1 plus dy dx equals 1. So you could distribute the 1, but that's just going to go away. So we get 1 plus dy dx equals 1. So dy dx equals 0 if we subtract it over there. Okay. All right, this one they want the second derivative. So I'm going to put a little asterisk next to this because most students forget how to do this. So we're still going to do the same thing. Take the derivative as is. So I'm going to start with 6x squared. So you get 6x squared and then minus 6y times dy dx equal to 0. Okay, common mistake, believe it or not, but the derivative of 8 is 0. So we're going to get 6x squared equals 6y dy dx. And then I'm going to divide by the 6y. So we get dy dx. So I'm going to bring this over here. So we get x squared over y. So that's the first derivative, dy dx. Now I'm going to take the second derivative. So d squared y over dx squared is going to be low d high. So it's low d high minus high d low, which again is my dy dx. and then all over the bottom squared. So y squared. So if I simplify this a little bit, we're going to get d squared y dx squared. So we get 2xy minus x squared dy dx, and then all over y squared. Oops. Now for this, again, you're going to have to go back and replace. So for dy dx, I'm going to insert what I found for dy dx. So we found x squared y. So we're going to get 2xy minus x squared. I'm going to insert the x squared over y, and then over y squared. Okay? So my second derivative, d squared y dx squared, is equal to dxy minus x to the fourth over y, and then divided by y squared. All right, you guys, that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope this helps.